US dollar, once unchallenged, now finds itself under pressure. BRICS countries have started a bold discourse of ditching the dollar's dominance in favor of national currencies. Spearheaded by Russia, this would have profound implications for global trade. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs Secretary has made a big statement as BRICS comes to a close, saying that talks on mutual trade settlements in national currencies are underway. And UPI-style interoperable payments could connect BRICS markets seamlessly. This cross-border payment model is already active in Bhutan, UAE, Singapore, and other countries. And it promises speed and lower costs.
Let me mention about the BRICS cross-border payments, which Meghna just brought it out, and the debt servicing issues. I think this is a concern post-COVID, as you all know, that countries economically have become weak in the global south, and that is truly the concern of the BRICS countries, because BRICS in some sense, represent global south countries, a multipolarity in its strongest terms, because there is a diversity in the BRICS countries. So this was one of the ideas. Now what are they looking for? Countries are looking for alternatives. Interoperability payment is a faster mechanism in terms of being able to do cross-border trading. And this is a low-cost solution. India has been successfully implemented it, and we are also entering into bilateral arrangements with many countries. So within the BRICS track, there is a discussion on it. We are hopeful that in the days to come there will be traction and countries will accept it as it is beneficial to most of them.
However, one thing needs to be set straight. There is no unified BRICS stance on de-dollarisation as such. And India in particular has distanced itself from proposals for a shared BRICS currency. India is basically supporting cautious diversification, which means holding more reserves of gold and other currencies, and using local currencies in trade settlements to reduce overexposure to the dollar, but not to replace the dollar as such. A few weeks ago, EM Jaishankar had confirmed that while India is seeking a global reach for the rupee, there is no policy to replace the US dollar as the global reserve currency.
As I said, first of all, I don't think there's any policy on our part to replace the dollar. As I said, at the end of the day, the dollar as the reserve currency is the source of international economic stability. And right now, what we want in the world is more economic stability, not less. Now, obviously, there are, I would also say in all honesty, I don't think there's a unified BRICS position on this. I think BRICS members, and now that we have more members, have very diverse positions on this matter. So the suggestion or the assumption that somewhere there's a united BRICS position against the dollar, I think is not borne out by facts. To me, it's kind of deterministic that if there is multipolarity has to translate itself into a currency multipolarity. It doesn't have to. Again, even when I was explaining multipolarity, my point was that if there are multiple players, it's not that India's relationship with each player is the same. There are different considerations in each relationship. For us right now, we think that the United States as really in many ways, clearly the largest economy in the world, in many ways the almost the fulcrum or the key player in the global international architecture. Our own relationship is growing, it's very positive. We do believe today that working with the United States and strengthening the international financial system, economic system is actually what should be the priority. So I think that both a strategic assessment as well as our sense of what is required today by the international economy will really guide are thinking on this matter.
But you might be wondering, why does this matter? You see, eliminating the dollar reduces exposure to currency volatility and US sanctions. It also gives BRICS economies greater control, which is perfect for a multipolar world emerging post-pandemic. Not just this, but it'll help turbocharge South-South trade by cutting legacy banking delays. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has formally called for a BRICS-wide independent settlement system that operates in the member nations' own currencies and is faster, safer, and beyond Washington's reach. In order to make the most of the opportunities that are opening up in this regard, it is important to intensify cooperation between the member states of our association, primarily in such areas as technology, efficient development of resources, logistics and insurance, trade and finance. It is necessary to further expand the use of national currencies in mutual settlements. It seems that the creation of an independent settlement and depository system on the BRICS platform will make currency transactions faster, more efficient and safer. And now, BRICS members are seemingly doubling down on settling trade in their own currencies, even as Washington watches warily. Previously, US President Donald Trump fired a warning shot, cautioning BRICS not to undermine the dollar, and even threatening tariffs if the bloc dares to cross the line. But if BRICS truly goes dollar-free, major global trade corridors could begin to sidestep the greenback altogether.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.